Hi, welcome to Love Saranghae with Peter and Andrea. In the next 30 minutes, we'll take you on a journey into the exciting world of entrepreneurship, relationships, and the secrets behind achieving that coveted glow. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Love Saranghae with us, Peter and Andrea. In today's special episode, we want to highlight a partnership with an incredible organization called Girlstart.org. They are dedicated to empowering girls in disadvantaged neighborhoods across the United States by providing greater access to STEM programming. Join us today as we dive into the inspiring work that they do and learn how our skincare products are making a difference beyond beauty. Peter, are you ready?
Yeah, let's talk about Girlstart.
Awesome. Okay, can you share with our audience a little bit about what Girlstart is, what their mission, vision is with our audience?
Yeah, so I will. I'll read the audience what's in their website right now because I don't have it, offhand. So Girlstart's mission is to empower girls through STEM. And if you don't know what STEM is, it stands for science, technology, engineering, and math, right? They are a national women-led organization, and that's true because I know that the people I've dealt with, they were all women at the top level, offering a year-round, out-of-school STEM programming for girls in grades 4 to 8, and a year-round intensive suite of STEM education programs for K-12 girls. And they do this free of charge, by the way. So it is all supported by donations from individuals and organizations like us. Girlstart's core programs foster STEM skill development and understanding of the importance of STEM as a way of solving world's major problems, as well as an internet interest in STEM electives, majors, and careers. These programs run throughout the United States. Founded in 1997, Girlstart is one of the longest-running programs devoted to empowering girls in STEM. Their comprehensive programs are designed to engage, increase confidence, and introduce STEM careers to girls who have been historically marginalized by providing meaningful hands-on STEM programming through after-school, summer camps, and other community events. Now, what I want to say before I sign off here, and that's the description from the website, is that I did meet one of their graduates who turned to be a NASA astronaut.
No way.
Yeah, one of the graduates, one young lady who went through the STEM program from Girlstart ended up becoming a NASA astronaut.
I have
or astronaut
goosebumps.
training. Yeah. Oh. So that really wow, that's crazy. It actually makes a difference, right? So that was one of the reasons why we decided to join with Girlstart.
So that changed the trajectory of that girl's life.
And that's just one example of a NASA engineer. Imagine how many percentage of girls out of 10 girls that go through this thing that would have gone into maybe humanities or dropped out considerably, or maybe into going into things like cooking. That said, hey, you know what? I can be an engineer. I can be a programmer, right? I can be in science.
Well, I grew up in a pretty traditional Middle Eastern household, and, my parents never told me what I should and shouldn't be. They always wanted me to be big things. But my sort of the quiet but really loud cultural expectations at that time was to be a good wife, to be a good mom, and a great profession to be those things was a teacher, because teachers learn how to educate children and then learn how to take care of them. And it's a nurturing role, which is a role that we associate mostly with women. And I think had I been in a different environment, I might have not become a teacher and I may have done something different. So just having those examples of other women doing those things is really powerful.
Well, I want to be clear here in saying that I think no role is wrong. I think that there are great teachers out there who make a big difference.
Absolutely.
And I think there's nothing wrong with the path that you choose to do things like become a chef or become a nurturer or whatever you may want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's choices.
Yes.
And I wanna give my daughter the ability to understand what is out there, feel comfortable with it. Like, I don't want her to not consider a career in engineering because she thinks she's scared of it or she's intimidated by it.
Or like only boys do that.
Exactly. So I want her to make the choice for her for the right reasons.
Exactly.
And
I
that's
don't
really
think
what it
I
comes
did
down to.
that. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think I would have become a teacher if I knew what the other options were and if I was comfortable going into them, even if they were mostly male dominated.
If I had to do it all over again, I would go into the space program and be a NASA astronaut. Although I'm 225 pounds,
And you're terrified of heights.
I'm terrified of heights. I think although they have to make bigger rockets for guys my size, it was either that or be a jockey. I would love to be a jockey. Can you imagine the horse that has to carry me?
No, but with so many amazing programs and organizations to choose from around the world, can you share why you chose to partner with Girlstart?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So let me start it this way. Right now, we donate a portion of our revenue to Girlstart on a quarterly basis for Aurora Skin Science sales, because that's how it started. So we have a threshold. We either donate a portion of our sales or a set amount, whichever is greater. So when we launched Aurora, one of our consultants who was helping us build the brand said, you should partner with a cause that will kind of give you guys something called a halo effect, which is like, this is what, by the way, all companies do. When companies partner with charities and do all the things, they do it not because of the goodness of their hearts, but because they think that it gives people a greater chance of connecting with the brand, right? So that's what the PR company said.
That's not true.
That's what they said. That's what they came to me and said, this is what you should do. So I'm like, really? So I fought against that. I said, I don't want to partner with any charity just so I can push our brand. So we went back and forth. And then the PR company said, look, at least take a look at the charities and see what floats your boat. If something is there you really like, maybe you don't have to support them because you want to promote your brand. Maybe you can support them because you want to support them. That's how they pitched it to me. So I said, okay, fine.
That's fair.
So they submitted a bunch of charities to support, all the way from the classics to breast cancer, down to Planned Parenthood, all that stuff. And it just so happens at the time our daughter Maya was conceived. So I knew that we were going to name her Maya, and I knew she was a little girl at the time. And I saw Girlstart. And the picture of Girlstart, when you look at the presentation, was of like a 5-year-old little girl showing what she was doing, a project she was doing in STEM, like an engineering project. Like I think she was building a dam or something. and obviously, like the life of my daughter just flashed in front of my eyes, like her doing these dam projects and building a spaceship, maybe being an astronaut, all of these things. And that really got me, right? And then, that from there, what really got into my head was the idea of like, so what is important for us, for me, as a cause to support is, for me, it's education. Education is the foundation of everything, right?
Totally agree.
We as a society tend to value the short-term gains much more than the long-term gains. But education is one of those things that gives you short-term, but mostly it's a long-term play. Educating my daughter and this generation of kids doesn't give us rewards right now, but it does provide for greater foundation for this country and for this planet. 30 years to 40 years down the road. That kind of sold me. That sold me. So I actually said,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
So I said, can you please line up a meeting with the organizers of Girlstart? And that's when I found out that one of their graduates became a NASA astronaut as well.
Sold.
That was like she was their big selling point. Like, look what happens to one of our graduates. I was like, what? She's a NASA astronaut? And then I'm like, why can't my daughter be a NASA astronaut? So
she absolutely can.
Yeah. And so that's why this started supporting Girlstart. I could have canceled that relationship long ago. I have found that supporting Girlstart does not necessarily lead to more revenue. Our customers, maybe they care, maybe they don't, but it hasn't had a material effect on the business itself. So if I was a simple businessman that looking to cut costs, I would have cut that relationship a long time ago. But I don't, because I don't support Girlstart for the halo effect. I don't support Girlstart because I want to sell more product. I support Girlstart because I see Maya. I see my little girl in that program, and it excites me. And the fact that we can foster more little girls like that, I think that's a great thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think, too, part of it, the reason why we chose to do this episode today about Girlstart is for that reason that I don't even think people know that that's what we do. And I think it's, number one, we want to highlight this organization because we think it's so amazing what they are doing. And number two, we want you to know that the purchase of our products is directly impacting the lives of little girls all over the United States.
And anybody who's listening right now, I do implore you guys to check Girlstart out. Maybe decide to donate or support them in your own little way, because I do know that having worked with them for over the years, they do have budget shortfalls quite a bit. Like, I've gone through a lot of the directors have left. Some people have come back. A lot of people have been let go. Through the pandemic, they had to kind of trim the force there because they had budget issues. So they're directly dependent on corporate and personal support. I don't think there's any government support behind them.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Why do you think that it's important for girls specifically to have access to these types of STEM opportunities from a young age?
I think that the world is a better place when all viewpoints are considered, and we look at building a foundation through the skill sets and viewpoints and observations of everyone, every different type of people. So diversity is in when building a future and building technology, diversity is a strength, because there are no right answers and wrong answers. It's just simply getting to the best answer possible through looking at different ways of doing things. And myopic view of the world and technology is not a good thing. You need to have more diverse views to get to the best answers. And cutting out an entire population of people, like entire gender of population, I think is crazy if you think about it.
It's a huge disservice.
Huge disservice.
Where we can go.
Exactly. There are some incredible women that have made incredible contributions to science. Madame Curie is a perfect example. How many Madame Curies out there are we suppressing because she's just a girl or she's a girl? That doesn't make sense to me.
Agreed. What do you think the biggest challenge or obstacle to overcome for women in STEM? Like, what are some of the biggest challenges?
Oh, I think time is number one. I think eventually, as time goes on, I mean, you look at even the movement 20 to 30 years ago, it was nowhere near as today. Then take a look at 200 years ago, and it was far behind. So I think it's just time. It takes generations upon generations and generations to make snail pace improvements. But they do happen.
Why do you think that is? Like, do you think that, like, I'm not saying you, but are men afraid of what women could do if they...
Sure, that could be one of them.
Joined their workplaces, or they took over the boardrooms, or they...
I don't know if it's that. I think there are some. Obviously, there's always going to be... There will always be people trying to build moats, right? There will always be trying to people build moats. So there are some of that. But I mean, even take a look at the people today. I'm 50, which means my mother is mid-80.
No, and she's turning 80.
Well, she's just turning 80. And my grandmother was 100, 99 when she passed away about 5 years ago. So, even 2 generations ago, the prevailing wisdom was that women stay at home and take care of the kids while the men go out there and work. I mean, 2 generations ago, men were fighting wars.
Yeah.
World wars, right? So it's just a matter of the education and culture changing over time. In 50 years, this conversation would be much different, because you are a teacher and you were out in the workforce. Your mother just entered the workforce. Your grandmother never was in the workforce. That's only 2 generations.
No, never.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
And
So
my
it
mom
takes,
didn't work all the time. Like when I was born, she left work and she
Yeah.
stayed home with me until I was a teenager.
that's only 2 generations. You give it, I think change happens in 5 generations, right? So let's take a look at how long that's going to take.
I don't know. I think it can happen faster with the right push and the right motivation and the right people behind it.
I think
Or
it's
the
moving-
necessity of it. Like, for example, when all the men were sent to war, all the women went to work. They didn't have
Yeah.
a choice.
Well, that was the catalyst. See that, but that was so the same women that were
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, wait a minute, we can work and contribute." Were the same women probably before the war saying, "Why, our place is in the home," right?
It was never challenged that,
Yeah. Now, having said that, staying at home raising children is not a bad thing either. I'm not going to vilify people who value raising good families and good core nuclear families because
100%.
that's important too.
The kids turn out the best, in my opinion. And that's
Exactly.
from a teacher. who used to
Exactly.
teach young children. I taught kindergarten to grade 8 for 15 years. And the ones who had moms at home were the most well-adjusted kids. It was really day and night difference, to be honest. So we're definitely not here to vilify that job because it is a job and it's a hard-working job that's completely undervalued. We're just talking about if you do choose to go out to work, if you choose to have a career outside of the home, what choices are you making? And is it because of the choices that your mother or grandmother chose for you? Is it something that perhaps your husband chose for you? Or is it a choice that you're making because you know what the options are and you believe that they're all available to you? So really, we're just talking about that. I guess we can go on to just let our listeners know how does purchasing our skincare products directly support Girlstart and its incredible initiatives.
Yeah, so every order that we process in our website, we donate a portion to Girlstart. And I can't
Yes.
give you the exact portion because it changes depending upon the situation at hand. But I try to, or a set amount that I promise them. So whichever is greater in that
Yeah.
quarter, that's how we donate it through their website. We just simply, take a credit card, put a pledge of foundation, a donate of money, and that's it. And
So if our listeners wanted to learn more about this incredible organization, if you wanted to donate yourself, but just to see what they're up to and get serious about that, we have a website for you. I'll put it in the show notes. It's basically girlstart.org. So you can check them out. We hope you do. It's really something beautiful. Like every time I go onto their website and I look around a little bit, I get
it's a great
little
organization.
bit teary-eyed because I'm so proud of them. And I'm proud of all the hard work that they've put into creating programs like that because they are really needed and so important.
By the way, I don't know if it's for everyone, but I was able to actually log into a Zoom and you can actually watch like for 10, 15 minutes, one of the classrooms.
No way. I didn't know that. I wonder if that was just you because you were potentially
a larger donor. Yeah, maybe that's it. But
they have to show you what they're up to.
Yeah, they had locations all over the country. I believe I attended the one in Texas and it was kind of cool. It was really cool. It was really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, get in touch with them. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Love Saranghae with us, Peter and Andrea. We really hope that you've been inspired by the impactful work our partner organization is doing to support girls in STEM. Remember, every purchase of our Aurora skincare products directly contribute to this incredible cause. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Bye. Hi, welcome to Love Saranghae with Peter and Andrea. In the next 30 minutes, we'll take you on a journey into the exciting world of entrepreneurship, relationships, and the secrets behind achieving that coveted glow. Are you ready? Let's go.